Hello to viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Rocket Monday, we're going to talk about integrated flight test number 6. So let's dive deep into it. So this IFT6 was, this puppy, and it was launched. It had banana meme for this time. So the banana, and inside there was a banana plushie. I'm getting conflicting report. Most likely it's a banana plushie. Likelihood of having a biological material there is kind of lame. And plushie has been carried in multiple missions, including SpaceX, including Boeing, because again, they are very good zero-G indicators. So my money is on plushie. And this was launched on 20 November 3:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. That's why I did not do the live stream. And it has supposed to do proper hot staging separation, catching booster by tower, restarting Raptor's engine in space, re-entry, and brutal belly flop. The idea with brutal belly flop is that the aim is while the booster comes back to land, the stage 2 goes into orbital velocity. So it's not going to come back. However, because you are going in orbit and world is round, it comes back again. So when they have to re-entry, they need to have a control vector. It's almost like space shuttle. Now, because space shuttle did not have any engines, it just like once it's there, yeah, that's it. Either you land on the runway or you crash. So same will go with here. It's like it has to have enough authority. So if it says, I'm going into that tower, I am going in goddamn that tower. So although to be fair, this has a bit more oomph because it has a rocket engine. So they may be able to keep some wiggle room, but they have to test it, especially in the aerodynamic regime. So they have tested that part. And after they have done the brutal belly testing, it's supposed to stand up and then do splashdown. So this was all the aim of IFT6. It's supposed to happen on 19th, but happened on 20th, 3:30 morning time. Now, booster, everything is normal at this point in time. This even looks generic at this point, which is mind-boggling that a rocket that is 2 times more powerful than Saturn, and we are getting such amazing footage, and we have seen it so many times that it's like boring. So it took off. Hot staging happened in 2 minutes 42 seconds. Everything is fine. Then it did boost back burn till 3 minutes 36 seconds. Everything is fine. Then it did dump the ring section. Now be mindful, that's only a temporary fix, because inherently when they're gonna stretch the tank, they should have more oomph to carry it forward. And other improvements, specifically the Raptor version 2 versus Raptor version 3, should save enough tonnage where they can get that margin, and they may be able to jump to titanium heat shields, titanium grid fins, to save even more weight. So there are a lot of wiggle room where they can make it permanent, and they have to. So that's the final aim, but right now this is like, the last. Although after that, when it was doing, the tower gave a command that tower failed. Tower has most likely a GPS antenna here. Basically, whenever you are receiving GPS, you have to put a ground station. So if you have two moving things, like the booster itself and the arms itself, and you want to be damn precise, you need a ground station, a ground reference point that is not moving. So most likely it's the tower top. So, and again, you do want them to be as close as possible. So if they are giving the correction, that would be the best place, and it does have an antenna there. If it malfunctions, then it becomes, hopes and dreams. So they may be like, yeah, we will not do hopes and dreams. So tower fail signal was received, and computer was like, okay, bye bye, splashdown it is. Then it do final burn to slow down to safe speed, quote unquote safe speed, 6 minutes 35 seconds, and then it touched down the water in 6 minutes 54 seconds. After that, it went kaboom. So this happened. I have no idea why the SpaceX cut that part, but like, it did happen. Although I have to say, way too many people went there to see that catch attempt, and it almost like that many people jinxed it, because again, that should have happened, the first time they did it, but now people will say, that was lucky. Although I'm reasonably sure by the time they have 2 launch towers, they would have learned enough, and because of their hardware-rich philosophy, I can easily see 2-3 tries from now, it would be like, who cares? Like same way, a launch of a 33 engine monster, we don't even care. We will be seeing numbness, because again, booster landing, nobody even watches it anymore. It's boring. So that will happen with this, hopefully. So booster was not a very sexy as expected, but life is life. However, Starship performed admirably. It had tried to do vacuum reignition past time, but it failed. This time it tried, it worked. Awesome. And the idea was to test the aerodynamics, and they did. And again, that's why the planning was done in such a way that the daytime they're going to do the re-entry during the daytime, and benefit of that, they can actually see how the flaps are working, how the cloud layers are reacting and all that jazz, and they got a really good feedback, so things are working. Refine the re-entry model. You have to understand, this thing is an orbital rocket. It does not have the luxury of a building, where a building has, like, okay, if building needs to a strength of 1, you will make it 4x to be like damn sure. If it's a bunker, you will make it 6x. Rocket do not have that luxury, so you have to only make it like 1x, 1.1 maybe. So they are like, they cannot afford to like just reinforce it. And if they wanted that philosophy, they can easily make it like robust enough where it's like, I don't care, but again, that will compromise the payload to orbit. So they're like, yeah, let's trim it. Now here's the deal. This is the last of version 1 design. So this is a done deal. This is like, yeah, this has taught us a lot of things, but we will not learn more from it. So they stripped as much heat shield they can remove based on their last testing data, where like, you know, if we remove this, it should not fail. So they push this almost to the edge and reinforce the part with all their feedback data, where it's like, you know, if we reinforce this, this will work. And it did work. Only failure happened on the tips of this, and this time it was minor inconvenience, meaning I can easily see if this was a reusable system, they can capture it and repair that part. It won't be like, okay, the whole ship is scrapped. So compared to how badly it was being destroyed in the first re-entry attempt versus this one, it is like, damn. And be mindful, they have stripped it, because the idea is they're supposed to put catch pins there because it's gonna be catched again. So they pushed it, and now they are showing that they are almost reaching a point where if they say remove heat tile from here, you remove heat tile from there, it will not have any effect. Add heat tile here, you're gonna goddamn add heat tile there. So that means their model refinement is reaching awesome performance. And everything went great, and no burnout. That was also awesome. So what can we expect next? Well, one more Starship splashdown is expected. After that, they will do the catch attempts. And again, there is a regulation there, so that could be stretched. And they have to reinforce the catch mechanism, basically the GPS systems and all that. And again, they may add a ground station that is on the ground. That can also be done to be far more robust. Although you do not want distance to be very long, you want distance to be as close as possible. People who do GPS surveying, they will tell you. So that's there. And next will be block 2 Starship, because all the knowledge they have gained, they have not changed the process. They are like, okay, let's push this, let's refine our model. Because if you refine on every launch, you do not have a complete understanding. You may be chasing ghost. So for that reason, it's better off many times where just like, okay, this is block 1 now, let's just keep pushing it. You give it 5 tries to figure out everything. Then you design, okay, now design with all this 5 experience, now design a block 2. Then block 2 would be far more refined upgrade. And so block 2 will be tested from now onwards. And hopefully this will finally have Mark 3, which again, I will bet it 50-50%. But if Mark 3 happens, hopefully we should reach a point where we'll no longer need that ejection. And again, the end design, that will be there where it will no longer be ejected, but we are a bit far away unless they go to Mark 3 right now. And payload to orbit by end of 2025. Now, the only reason why they could not have done payload to orbit, aka Starlink satellites to the orbit, is simply because they failed to reignite. So they have to do one more reignition test to prove no. If you put this goddamn thing in space, it's gonna come back from space. Be mindful, it's a giant thing. It's a giant thing. It will become a giant, mess in low Earth orbit if it was just left there stranded. So they are always putting it in an orbit where it's like, even if a complete failure happens, it goes into the Indian Ocean. So this time they can now count on their Raptor engines, like, I got you fam, I'm going to put you in orbit and I'm going to deorbit you. So once they have proven that in first 2-3 launches of 2025, and then they're gonna put Starlinks. At this point in time, no other thing is planned, because again, there is no door plan, and they're not even bothering with that, because again, Mark 1, Mark 2, and I'm reasonably sure they're gonna go through so many reiterations, it's not even worth it. They're like, okay, how can we get the most money out? Put Starlink. So that's there. Second launch tower would be tested. It will be the next year's main puppy. And again, now my understanding is the reason why they had the stupid plate is simply because of the timeline. Because money does not buy time, it only buys speed. So they did not have the license and permission to dig a giant hole. So they're like, what if we just put a flat there? And they put it. This time, the second tower they are building, they have a giant hole there, like a normal, logical flame trench. And again, the third launch tower that is on Florida, again, normal, dig deep, have a normal trench. So most likely the sense is that Elon Musk had that unit planned, and everybody is like, yeah, we can dig deep right now, but again, the license is not cleared. So they're like, okay, we cannot wait for license. What are the next best option? Water tower. They put a shower head there. It worked, but again, I'm happy that they have finally moved forward. It maybe in long term would be seen as a very clever move, where it's like, okay, we are burning more money, but we are getting through a lot of bureaucracy, so to say. And again, with the Mark II, they have time to solve the bureaucracy. They are slowly digging it up, slowly figuring things out. They are letting it go, and again, learning data at the same time with a shower head. So that's there. And propellant transfer and reuse. Now this part is the most unknown part. Right now, is anything else stupid in Starship other than that flat shower head, which they have fixed? Yes, this propellant transfer. The problem is, to do moon mission, they are planning for upwards of, let that be very clear, we do not know, the best guess is freaking 20 or maybe 15. That's the lowest I've seen. And that is too much. You are talking 15 launches of a super heavy craft rocket and nothing to go wrong. Yeah. Either you have to have 15 launch tower and 15 complete stacks, so there is no oops event, or even one oops event can strand your whole mission. And not to mention, we do not know how much basically insulation is needed to, like, refuel it. You may be luck out, like, things may luck out. Hey, we actually refuel it and it's like barely boil off happens. Things can, because again, it's huge. So having that much mass of propellant itself could be a very good insulating property. It may delay it long enough where it's like, yeah, we do not have to do too much. That could be there. Or worst case scenario is like, yeah, it's in low Earth orbit, man. Sun is putting some extra love there. And because of the differential shadow, sun, shadow, sun, shadow, sun, things are under stress. And yeah, this puppy is boiling like there is no tomorrow. So that would be the worst case scenario. Because again, logically, you're supposed to let go of the second stage and deploy the payload. If you want more oomph, you launch a second rocket with a propulsion stage. That's it, done. And even if it's only supposed to be 100 ton to low Earth orbit, okay, 100 ton payload to moon, 100 ton of launching rocket. 150 ton was the complete upper stack capacity of Saturn V. Saturn V was 2-stage rocket. Third stage was lunar injection burn. So they can do the same thing to basically, hey, we launch this thing, it works. And that would be far more digestible in the time frame. Because again, otherwise I'm like genuinely shocked how much liquid methane they're gonna consume. Like that would be brutal just for one refueling. So let's see what happens. That's the part that I'm sure that it will be like almost like Artemis is like, yeah, we thought it was a good idea, then we did it, then the bill came. Remember, physics, engineering, economics bill will come, the accountant will come and it's like, oops. So let's see what happens. My bet is 2-3 times and then somebody will misstep them. Minimum. Maximum, let's say. So now new rumors are coming along because again, Starship is a Artemis protocol, as in like the Artemis has core component Starship. So SLS is now in serious danger. Now be mindful, this is getting expedited given the fact that Trump won, but it was always a scenario where SLS had to be cancelled. SLS has went too stupid, too long. It's a 15 freaking year old project. It's not even like it makes, James Webb Space Telescope look logical. They are like, okay, it's $10 billion over budget, but you launched it at the other end. It's like, yeah, it's if $11 to $15 billion over budget, you still have not launched it. And again, it will not even be launched anytime soon. So it's reaching that final threshold where even the Congress cannot define it. Now it's like, okay, then why the heck it was lingering for this long? Well, A, China. B, you have to understand, 15 years ago, if you had said Starship could exist, nobody would have believed it. But the progress rate of hardware-rich testing, now people can actually believe it. Oh, can you make 20 Starship? It's like, bruh, the Starship that I threw away, that was numbered 30. We got this, bro. We got this. So things are basically messed up in SLS. Everything. Launch tower. I'm not talking about anything that goes in space. Launch tower. Launch tower 2 supposed to be built. Yeah, it's supposed to be built for 200 million. How much cost overrun? Billions. What happened to it? Lol. Heat shield. This puppy was not even built for Artemis. This puppy was built for Constellation. Yeah, that also went lol. Now be mindful, whenever you are building a depletable material, you are like, okay, we're going to put 5-inch thick material. It's going to go through the atmosphere. It should not run through less than 3 inches. And if, let's say, worst case scenario happens, more than 3 inches consumed, you still have 2 inch of buffer. That's the good design. Now be mindful. How do we know science is science? Well, prediction is accurate. You do not tell, oh, tomorrow sunrise will happen. No, you say sunrise will happen at this exact time from this exact direction. Precision. So NASA launched this and they captured it, recovered it, and then it's like, what the hell? This has way too much. And be mindful, when you are doing re-entry from lunar orbit, as in like lunar injection decel burn, so to say, has been done from lunar orbit to low Earth orbit. It's much higher velocity. So it was the actual test of this, and it was like failed brutally. And it took them 1 year to figure out what the hell happened. Now, as of now, the design has not, but again, they have to redo it. Consequence, cost will become lol. So heat shield has failed. SLS upgrades are so lol, is like when it will be finished, lol. Can it be finished, lol. So block 2 variants, yeah, that has become complete lol. And Boeing is so lol that they are like, yeah, we are willing to sell the space department. And here's the deal, anyone who has a brain, no, there is no point of buying it. And again, that's why ULA sale is not going on. ULA is like, we want money. It's like, dude, you have nothing to sell. You have Vulcan rocket that is literally Jeff Bezos' engine. Like, what's there? Like, Jeff Bezos, they wanted to buy it because, again, launch asset, experience and all that would have been helpful. But they're like, we want more money. It's like, bro, I can earn all that experience, all that asset for my rocket in half the price that you are asking. It's not worth it. Then Sierra Nevada wanted to buy it because, again, they can develop. They're also like, yeah, they are asking too much. So nobody is buying that. And Boeing is like, yeah, you have a failed project after failed project with after more failed project, and every division is losing money. Every single division is hemorrhaging money, and your whole reputation is reaching a point where it's like, if it's Boeing, I ain't going. Yeah. So there is a very good chance. So this may be bad enough where even the job loss, that was the scary term, that's why it was not cancelled and became from SLS to Space Senate Launch System. It may be pushed through. It's like, dude, we do not have money. Like, people want to low inflation. Okay, we have to cancel government jobs. So that's there. Cost has become stupid. Basically, it's not justifiable because you're like, okay, SpaceX is burning so much money. But you can see what's going on, right? You can see. Like, if SpaceX says, hey, we're going to build a launch tower. Okay, they learned from it. The Mark II was quicker, faster, more efficient. Now, NASA is like, we're going to build launch tower. Awesome. We're going to build another launch tower. Not awesome. They have no idea. No idea who's contractor. No idea how the contract is being done. No idea who's building the metal. I'm not joking. That's from Inspector General office. Like, basically, the essence is nobody has any idea. Not even joking. They're like, the whole point, that's why the Tower 1 was so messed up. It's like different contractors. The idea was, no, one contractor will start and finish the whole thing. Yeah, lol. So cost overrun is just too painful. At this point in time, it's making James Webb Space Telescope look logical. And be mindful, country can only support 1 or 2 oops event like that, not continuous oops event. So SLS will be the last event, and that's why that NASA logo is there in today's Elon Musk post. That's why. So this was my presentation on basically IFT6. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst a friend. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free, and as always, thanks for watching.